Get ready for a revolution in your way of thinking. Have you ever wondered about the true essence of generosity and how it can transform your life? In a world full of expectations and sacrifices, discover why no can be the key to an extraordinary life. In this video, I will reveal how powerful persuasion triggers can free you from the traps of excessive generosity. Stir controversy, challenge your beliefs, and dive into a counterintuitive statement that will redefine your path to happiness. Are you ready for quick rewards and a journey of self-discovery? Then, prepare for the video that will change everything you thought about generosity and well-being. Stoicism offers valuable teachings on the importance of generosity and virtue, emphasizing the construction of a solid character. The idea of not setting oneself on fire to warm others resonates deeply in this context. Stoic philosophy encourages us to act with clarity of thought and thrive regardless of circumstances, but also warns us against excessive sacrifice. While generosity and helpfulness are admirable virtues, Stoicism reminds us of the importance of setting boundaries. Being constantly available and excessively dedicated to others may be beneficial for the recipient, but it is vital to consider the impact on your own well-being. Stoic philosophy reminds us to balance our generosity with an awareness of our own limits and needs. Living in a world where reciprocity is not always guaranteed can pose emotional challenges. Stoicism, in this context, highlights the importance of finding internal contentment and not relying excessively on the reactions or actions of others. By practicing discerning generosity and maintaining a healthy balance, we can build not only meaningful relationships, but also preserve our own emotional and mental integrity. We encounter generous people who exhaust themselves in every way. The Stoic way of thinking has reshaped my life and provided emotional resilience. Therefore, I will share 7 situations resulting from excessive kindness and generosity, and how, in practice, we establish limits in our lives based on Stoic knowledge. Before we begin, I would like to thank you for clicking on this video. This was the first step in your journey to improve your life through Stoicism. If you are new here, please like and subscribe to the channel. Number 1. Don't set yourself on fire to warm others. Stoics emphasize the importance of living with reason and virtue, guiding the pursuit of an ethical life. Establishing boundaries in relationships is crucial to preserving balance and avoiding compromising authenticity and well-being. The story of the friendship between a horse and a donkey illustrates the need to be cautious when reaching out, as sometimes, by offering help unknowingly, we may volunteer for suffering. The account shows how a generous gesture, when misdirected, can result in unexpected consequences, highlighting the importance of weighing our actions to avoid taking on unwanted responsibilities. Stoicism teaches us to practice self-reflection, that is, to always question our immediate reactions and strive to live by reason. This process prevents impulsive actions, promoting choices aligned with our values. As Epictetus, one of the most well-known and wise Stoic philosophers, states in his discourses, "When about to undertake any task, pause for a moment and reflect on the nature of the task you are about to perform. You will perform the task more securely if, before you begin, you say to yourself, 'I want to perform this task, and at the same time, I want to maintain my moral purpose in harmony with nature.'" Stoicism promotes a transformative approach to thinking, emphasizing the importance of helping others without carrying excessive burdens. The lesson is clear: assist friends, but in a way that does not compromise your own shoulders. Stoic philosophy encourages cultivating balanced relationships where both parties contribute fairly, avoiding excessive sacrifices. The maxim, "Don't set yourself on fire to warm others," reflects Stoic principles of living rationally, maintaining balanced relationships and avoiding compromises that could harm integrity and well-being in all areas of life. Number 2, reciprocity has an expiration date. Giving your best without expecting reciprocity is a nobility highlighted by Stoicism. The philosophy emphasizes the importance of giving without expectations, recognizing that reciprocity may have an expiration date. Often, despite promises of gratitude, people may forget generous gestures over time. Creating expectations about the actions of others, especially regarding reciprocity, puts us at risk of disappointments and feelings of betrayal. Stoicism offers the perspective of avoiding tying our happiness to the actions of others, promoting selfless giving and teaching about emotional detachment for greater tranquility. Stoic philosophy highlights that the problem often lies in our own expectations, reminding us that we do not control the actions of others, only our own attitudes and reactions. The wisdom of Epictetus in his discourses emphasizes this. There are 2 rules to keep at all times, that nothing is good or bad outside my choice, and that we should not try to lead events, but follow them. Epictetus's quote reinforces the idea that we should accept events as they happen without creating illusory expectations or trying to control them, and recognize that good and bad are related to our rational choice. Therefore, when being generous, be aware that reciprocity may not always occur. Let's avoid creating expectations, because expecting reciprocity can often lead to discouragement, frustration, and disappointment. The key is to focus on what can be controlled, ensuring that actions are genuinely productive and avoiding wasting time on what cannot be changed. Stoicism teaches that true wealth lies in the ability to give without expecting a return, finding joy in this act and maintaining peace of mind regardless of others' reactions. This is a fundamental principle. Focus on actions within reach. Cultivate selfless generosity that provides internal satisfaction, even without a guarantee of recognition or reciprocity. Number 3, requests received can lead you to overwhelm and neglect your own needs. Setting boundaries is essential to maintain balance in relationships. When looking back in history, even royalty had assistants to carry out personal tasks. Nowadays, many people expect favors without considering limits. Stoicism provides guidance on setting and maintaining boundaries in daily life. The practice of moderation, a Stoic virtue, becomes a valuable guide in the face of numerous requests and demands. The philosophy urges us to balance generosity, avoiding passively accepting unlimited demands. By acting with moderation, we retain control over our actions, preserving our emotional well-being in the face of patterns that could overwhelm us. Stoicism advises against constantly taking on the responsibilities of others, as it not only burdens us, but also hinders the growth and overcoming of challenges by others. A story vividly highlights how excessive care, even coming from good intentions, can have negative consequences on personal development. The relationship between the mother and daughter underscores the importance of allowing others to take on responsibilities and practice self-care, essential elements for growth and autonomy. In the context of Stoicism, we can relate this narrative to the philosophy that emphasizes the importance of internal control over external circumstances. By constantly taking on the responsibilities of others, we may be acting against Stoic principles of focusing on what is under our control and accepting what is not. This can lead to an imbalance of energy and compromise emotional well-being, contradicting the principles of equanimity and serenity advocated by the Stoics. Therefore, the story serves as a reminder of the need to balance care with autonomy, both in our relationships with others and in our approach to life, aligning with the fundamental principles of Stoicism. Practicing moderation in generosity, giving in a balanced manner, allows us to maintain control over our actions, avoiding habits that wear down our emotional balance. If we get accustomed to giving constantly, those benefiting from our generosity may start to expect and desire more and more. Receivers have no limits. No matter how much you do, it will always seem insufficient. Reflecting on the practice of generosity and the need to establish clear boundaries strongly resonates with Stoic principles. The excerpt from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations emphasizes the importance of autonomy and individual responsibility. The idea that a man's job is to stand upright, not be kept upright by others, highlights the need for each person to take responsibility for their own life and personal growth. Seneca's quote about friendship and genuine connection also aligns with Stoic principles. The idea that a friendship built only on material benefits is fragile and can unravel reflects the emphasis on virtue and authenticity in human relationships. In the context of Stoicism, generosity is seen as a virtue, but this practice must be balanced with the wisdom of setting limits and encouraging others to take on their responsibilities. In this way, we achieve not only the benefit of others, but also preserve our own peace and well-being, following the fundamental teachings of this philosophy. A person drawn to some reward offered in exchange for their friendship will be attracted to something in the friendship beyond friendship itself. Seneca emphasizes the importance of cultivating true bonds, free from external motivation. Being excessively generous can result in superficial connections motivated by specific interests, whether financial or something we can do or offer. Often we condition our worth based on what we can offer, generating fear of judgment or displeasure. Stoicism highlights the importance of self-sufficiency, emphasizing that our value should arise internally. This approach applies to all relationships, both professional and personal. Building authentic connections based on mutual acceptance is vital. Stoicism prioritizes living with virtue, constantly improving character and mastering emotions. Setting boundaries is crucial to preserve balance and avoid compromising well-being. By overloading ourselves with others' responsibilities, we risk neglecting our own lives, avoiding facing internal limits and fears. Excessive dedication to others' problems can lead to losing oneself, with the inner voice drowned out by neglect of one's own needs. It is essential to recognize that attending to our own needs and priorities is not selfishness, but a form of self-care and preservation of authenticity. Stoics teach us that setting boundaries and living according to virtues is not only an act of self-love, but also a path to a meaningful life. Cicero, one of the most prominent Stoic philosophers, expressed this reality when he said, "Of all the days of our life, few are dedicated to ourselves." The next time you feel tempted to get lost in constant service to others, pause, acknowledge the uncomfortable emotions that arise in solitude, and welcome them with compassion. Allow yourself to be authentic in your desires and needs. Establish healthy boundaries and learn to say no when necessary. You will discover that by honoring your own authenticity, you not only enrich yourself internally, but can also offer balanced and genuine generosity to others. Therefore, it is essential to learn to allocate your time and knowledge efficiently, as well as understand the importance of putting on your own oxygen mask first. This way, you can help others more meaningfully, without ignoring your own needs. Number 4. Being seen and treated as fragile. In the context of Stoicism, the importance of setting boundaries and practicing self-discipline is evident. Stoic teachings emphasize the development of inner strength and self-control, fundamental aspects of maintaining a healthy mind. The practice of firmly saying no, but with respect, represents a direct application of these principles. When we become excessively available and willing to help indiscriminately, we run the risk of being misunderstood. Instead of being seen as collaborators, this attitude can lead to a perception of vulnerability. People may start to exploit this willingness, leading to situations of exhaustion and frustration. By establishing boundaries respectfully, there is a transformation in how others perceive us. We cease to be seen as individuals always ready to take on any task and start being recognized as someone who values themselves enough to set limits. This shift in relational dynamics is crucial for gaining respect and dignity. Saying no not only strengthens our mental position, but also allows us to overcome obstacles and become individuals capable of defending our own limits. This attitude, aligned with Stoic principles, contributes to the development of inner strength and a more balanced life. Ultimately, respect comes not only from what you do for others, but also from how you treat yourself. Cicero, one of the greatest writers and Stoic philosophers of his time, already knew this truth when he said, "What you think of yourself is much more important than what others think of you." By setting boundaries and practicing self-discipline, you send a clear message to the world. You deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. Therefore, the next time you find yourself in a situation where your limits are being tested, remember the strength contained in that little word, no. By uttering it, you are defending yourself and reaffirming your own worth. You will encounter many challenges when implementing these changes in your life. Number 5, we will see who our true friends are. The guidance of Stoicism, to pay attention to actions instead of words, aligns with the idea of discernment and a deep understanding of human nature. This philosophy does not promote cynicism or distrust, but seeks a pragmatic and realistic approach in interpersonal relationships. By observing the actions of people around us, we can genuinely identify who needs help and will appreciate our authentic support. This practice not only preserves our energy, but also contributes to building more meaningful relationships. Stoicism, in this context, encourages the careful choice of where we direct our efforts, focusing on helping those who truly value our contribution. By adopting this approach, we create a circle of relationships based on mutual appreciation, where we are recognized not only for what we can offer, but mainly for who we are as individuals. This Stoic perspective guides us in the pursuit of authentic and meaningful relationships, strengthening the cultivation of a balanced and centered mindset. Stoicism, by providing tools to thrive in life, highlights the importance of working with the mind and practicing self-discipline. When facing challenges, applying Stoic principles becomes a valuable opportunity to set clear boundaries and make conscious decisions about how to invest our energy and time. In the context of human relationships, maintaining balanced and directed generosity towards those who truly value our help is crucial. This not only reflects the application of Stoic principles, but also contributes to a more meaningful and satisfying life. Establishing boundaries is a process that, although simple in its essence, can be challenging without practice. To avoid being used by others, some strategies can be explored. Regularly practicing saying no respectfully, evaluating reciprocity in relationships, and maintaining clarity in communications are examples of approaches that align with Stoic principles. By adopting these strategies, you're not just protecting your energy, but also nurturing healthier relationships aligned with your values. This allows you to live in accordance with Stoic teachings, finding peace and satisfaction even in the complexities of human interactions. First strategy, eliminate the fear of saying no. The first strategy, getting rid of the fear of saying no, aligns with Stoic principles of self-control and discernment. Confronting this fear is crucial, diving into the root often tied to childhood experiences. Reflecting on why we fear saying no can unveil internalized beliefs, conditioning us to constantly seek approval from others. Stoicism encourages introspection and continual questioning, emphasizing that as adults, we have the power to make conscious decisions about our lives. Understanding that the fear of saying no may stem from past experiences when we couldn't question perceived threats liberates us from these conditioning. Stoic philosophy provides valuable tools to comprehend and manage emotions, allowing us to pause and reflect before acting impulsively. Saying no, especially in overwhelming situations or when the request is unfair, becomes an exercise in self-control, aligned with the pursuit of a meaningful and purposeful life advocated by Stoics. Thus, applying this strategy not only overcomes the fear of saying no, but also strengthens your ability to make conscious decisions, exercising self-control and aligning with Stoic principles. Second strategy: pay attention to your feelings. Stoicism highlights the importance of paying attention to mental processes, emphasizing self-reflection and self-awareness to cultivate a healthy mind. Understanding emotions and identifying signs of excessive commitment, Stoicism encourages adjustments to find balance. Generosity, according to this philosophy, should bring satisfaction. If feelings of overwhelm or irritation arise, Stoicism guides to pay attention and acknowledge how assistance impacts your well-being. Consistent practice of this self-awareness allows adjustments in actions according to values, promoting balance in relationships and avoiding emotional exhaustion. Third strategy: see yourself as a priority. Following Stoic principles of self-discipline and self-respect, it's crucial to set aside time for self-care. Stoicism, a study addressing the health of our souls, teaches us to value and prioritize our well-being. Do not neglect your health, body, and emotions. Recognize yourself and see yourself as a serious priority. Embrace yourself. Forgive yourself for mistakes and failures. Facing the upcoming year as an opportunity for Stoic fresh starts is fundamental. Choose an activity exclusively for yourself, being generous with yourself in this time. Set clear boundaries and don't hesitate to say no to protect this space. Offer help, but make it clear that your availability is limited, as you have a life to take care of. This is a commitment to yourself that deserves respect. Fourth strategy: identify the freeloaders. Following the Stoic principles of self-discipline and discernment, it is crucial to recognize which relationships are beneficial and which do not positively contribute to your well-being. By distancing yourself from people who constantly drain your energy without offering positive returns, you apply Stoic self-control in your relationships. Identifying those who consistently take without giving back, whether demanding attention, incessantly complaining, consuming your time, or requesting financial loans without fulfilling commitments, is vital to avoid parasitic dynamics. Stoics emphasize that good deeds cannot force changes in others, and each person is responsible for their own transformation. Stoic philosophy teaches the psychological strength needed to modify affectionate bonds, balancing discernment and temperance in relationships. Striving for a balance between giving and receiving is essential to avoid extremes that result in selfishness or burnout. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of balance, moderation, and reflection in actions. Thus, by practicing generosity wisely, we can avoid excessive giving and stay true to the fundamental goal of leading an extraordinary life. Seneca's teachings highlight that kindness is a treasure to be granted with wisdom and reserved for necessary moments, while recognizing the intrinsic nature of doing good to all human beings. Now you have reached the end of this lesson. If you enjoyed our video, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It greatly supports our work. See you in the next video. Thank you.